Hi, well, my name's Duncan Hamilton. My book is about Harold Larwood, who was the main strike bowler during the 1932-33 Bodyline series. And it was a series which really impacted on the rest of his life. And what I tried to do in the book was to explain what happened when he came home and the events that led up to it, and the way that he had to fight both the prejudice of basically his own club and the MCC. Well, I kind of grew up not far from Trent Bridge, and I grew up in a kind of mining area, and all the old miners, because Larwood had actually been a miner himself, used to say to you, if you were trying to bowl fast on the kind of village streets, oh, you will never be as fast as Larwood. And I went back in to see my parents and said, who is Larwood? I've got no idea who he was. But then, of course, over the years, as I became more fascinated with the game, I found out who he was. Saw him briefly when he came over in 1977. And when my own father went over to Sydney to see his own brothers in 1984, he said to me, what is the one thing you'd like me to bring you back? I said, well, can you go and see Harold Larwood and can you get him to sign this photo? Which is exactly what he did. Just because I think the story of Larwood is just not a story about cricket, it's a story, I mean, it's a very human tale really, about how somebody coped with fame which they weren't comfortable with, and the extreme pressures which came kind of with it. And a kind of 7 or 8 months in 1932-3, which really changed his entire life, right up until about 1977. I never thought I would actually win it for a second time. I mean, I'm certainly prouder of the Larwood book than I was of the Clough book. When I look back at the Clough book, and there are things that I could have just written a little bit better. But I thought that because of the help that I got from the family, certainly from his daughter Enid, and his daughter Frida, were just so, I mean, they were just wonderful. I mean, I flew over to Sydney, flew up to see them, and they just put everything that they'd got in their front of me. It was wonderful.